Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. So, Anthony Joshua, in recent interviews, has revealed that he is indeed in talks with Turki Al-Sheikh regarding a multi-fight deal. He didn't really elaborate much, but Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi on their channel Stamina for Sale on a recent live stream said that the talk behind the scenes is that it's a 3-fight deal that Anthony Joshua is discussing with Turki, and the opponents apparently, as things stand right now, are going to be Dillian Whyte, Jared Anderson, and then finally, Tyson Fury. Now, obviously, this is all just rumors at the minute, but let's just say it happens, hypothetically. Yeah, we know Tyson Fury said the other day he's never going to come back. Whatever. Still banging on about how he got jobbed on the cards and all this rubbish. Even he now seems to be insinuating that Turki had something to do with him not getting the decision in both fights. Totally ridiculous. So we'll put all that typical Fury nonsense to one side, and again, just hypothetically, entertain this scenario. A Dillian Whyte fight, in my view, would be a battle between two completely shot fighters, but they're shot in different ways. Dillian Whyte is more shot physically than AJ, and I'm basing this on his past few fights, particularly the one he had with Ebenezer Tete. He looks slow, and he's never been a fast fighter, but by his standards I'm talking about, he looks slower than ever. His left hook didn't have anywhere near as much velocity on it as it used to, and because of that, there wasn't as much power, and Ebenezer Tete was able to eat it. This is a guy who recently was knocked out in one round by Fraser Clark, who's not noted as a big puncher. So yeah, Dillian Whyte was slow as molasses against Tete, ponderous. The power on the hook seemed to have diminished, and of course his punch resistance is absolutely shot to bits. However, his confidence is still there. Dillian Whyte is a naturally confident character. Very brash, very alpha. He's the type of person who can get knocked out and not get spooked by it. And that's a pretty rare thing in boxing, particularly heavyweight boxing. We saw it after he got knocked out by Povetkin. In the rematch, he was more aggressive than he was in the first fight. There were no demons, there were no ghosts at all. At least not any that got the better of him. In stark contrast, AJ is exactly the kind of guy who gets spooked from getting knocked out or even getting dropped. These things haunt him. He gets gun shy the next time he steps into the ring. So AJ, in my view, is more shot mentally, but physically, to me, he seems fresher than Dillian Whyte. The reflexes seem better than Dillian Whyte's reflexes. The speed is more well-preserved. The athleticism is more well-preserved. I mean, he was more athletic than Dillian Whyte to begin with, but still, there hasn't been the kind of deterioration, in my view, physically in AJ than we've seen with Dillian Whyte. Now, obviously, AJ's punch resistance has never been great, and perhaps it's worse than ever now, so that might be one aspect of the physical where AJ has deteriorated some. But the rest of it, I don't think there's been that much deterioration. Maybe a little bit, but not as much as with Whyte, again, in my opinion. And that's what makes that fight somewhat intriguing. The fighter with the shot body against a fighter with a shot mind. Who comes out on top? I want to say I would probably still lean towards AJ because he's got the height and reach, and he's obviously been in there with Dillian Whyte before, so I'd imagine he'd take a certain amount of confidence from that. So yeah, I'd go AJ. The Jared Anderson fight, honestly, if Anderson turns up confident like he was pre-Bacoli, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua. I seriously do. I know AJ banged out Charles Martin in 2 rounds years ago, yet Anderson more recently struggled with him, and he went the distance and he was hurt by Charles Martin several times. I get all that, but styles make fights. And the AJ we have today is not the same AJ who fought Charles Martin. Anderson's the younger guy, the fresher guy. Although, speaking of demons, he seems to have demons from that Martin Bacoli defeat, because his last performance was not impressive at all. And he seems to be a bit of a emotionally troubled young man in general, even before that Bacoli defeat. So it's a big if with Jared Anderson. If he turns up confident against AJ. But were that to be the case, like I say, I think AJ is in for a very, very tough fight because Anderson throws an awful lot of shots. He's got a good jab. He's got good hand speed. Defensively, he's very vulnerable. We've seen that. But presumably, he's been away working with his training team, looking to fix those issues. And actually, one thing I did notice in his last fight that was an improvement is that he wasn't doing that lean back as much. The thing that got him into trouble against Bacoli. Well, several things got him into trouble against Bacoli, but the lean back was one of them. Wasn't doing that lean back so much. I mean, old habits die hard, so it'll probably take a while for them to get him to stop doing it completely, but I could see that he was trying to iron out that issue in his last performance. It's definitely something they've been working on. So anyway, Anderson against AJ is intriguing to me. At the moment, I'm actually on the fence about that one. I'm serious. To me, that fight's really about confidence. You know, who turns up the most confident? If it's AJ, he wins. If it's Anderson, he wins, because both guys are vulnerable. And then finally, if AJ were to get past him, Tyson Fury. Now, during all this, Presumably, Tyson Fury is just sitting on the sidelines. He's not fighting. He's not accumulating damage. He's just sitting pretty, waiting for AJ to do all this heavy lifting. And when I say heavy lifting, I'm talking in relative terms, right? Heavy lifting by AJ's standards for where he is in his career right now. These fights for AJ at this point, Dillian Whyte and Anderson, are probably competitive. Do you know what I mean? So while AJ's doing all this, Tyson Fury's chilling. Now, you could say that the activity will help Anthony Joshua and the inactivity will be a detriment to Tyson Fury, but again, it depends on how much damage AJ takes in those fights. If he wins both fights comfortably in, let's say, 6-7 rounds and doesn't really take much punishment, then it will stand him in good stead. But if he goes in there and has a life and death struggle with both guys, then I think that actually benefits Tyson Fury. Because again, we're dealing with older fighters here. The damage that they take at this stage of their careers is going to be more damaging than it would have been if they were young men. Young bodies can recover from these things better. Older bodies tend to hold on to damage more. So anyway, those are my thoughts and musings on this rumored 3-fight deal that Anthony Joshua is apparently at least discussing with Turki Al-Sheikh behind the scenes. And in fact, before I go, if AJ and Tyson Fury were to fight in this scenario, I'd still be going with Tyson Fury. I think if there was ever a time for Anthony Joshua to beat the Gypsy King, it would have been pre-Ruiz. And I'm not saying he definitely would have beaten him, I'm saying that's when he would have had the best chance, because that's when his confidence was higher. This version of AJ, who's cautious, who's really timid in the ring, I have to favor Fury. But yeah, those are my musings. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I am out. Are you surrounded by mindless bots in human form who adhere to the norm and blindly conform? Who swallow all the mainstream BS and actually ridicule you for questioning things? Do you wish you had more free-thinking individuals in your life to network and converse with? Well, look no further. We're right here. Come and join the Brotherhood of Reason on Patreon. You'll gain access to my weekly topical content where we take deep dives on an endless variety of subjects, as well as my vast back catalogue of podcasts, videos, interviews, movie decodings, and my Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You'll also get to talk and network with myself and hundreds of other people in our members chat. You can enjoy all this via the Patreon app or on desktop and download all my podcasts in high-quality MP3. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store, or simply visit patreon.com on a web browser. Then head on over to my page and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android, because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.